The ravens are coming. Oh, the postmark over 52 ducats.
Vamos ver qual que vai dar nesse caminho novo.
Weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia. We find out what she knows. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who happened to also be a deadly sorcerer, and his only daughter. That would be worth it. And it would be nice to see her. He always had a soft spot for her.
Continuar.
And he felt sure she had one for him. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky River, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must
Não
have
vou
great
fazer o
power.
caminho do Sky Reaper. Vamos fazer de novo esse aqui.
Zenobia wasn't just the Emperor's daughter, of course. She'd been renowned
E
as
na
her
hora,
best
tem
friend
uma hora
and
que a gente vai mudar o
sorceress.
caminho. Vamos fazer o caminho da melancia e depois tem um outro negócio que a gente vai fazer lá. Levar ela pros rebeldes lá, uma
And I
parada
don't
assim.
have a feeling she'd want to see him again. Who knows what could happen between the two of them this time around? She knows all his plans, chuckled the master spy. She won't give them up easily. She'll tell the interrogators, all right.
Parece que os três caminhos têm uma verdade para me mostrar.
Change the game, all right.
Vamos ver o que vai dar aqui neste caminho novo. Bom, esse é um Majora's Masks.
The city was already under Zenobia's control.
Aqui dá o caminho do aqui gatinha de
I
novo.
was shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Really turn her over to them.
Cara, trocar essa parada de
It wasn't meant to be pretty.
toda vez que eu der um golpe encher a espada, porque eu não vou precisar mais. Agora eu tô batendo muito nos caras. Essa espada é simples, né? Então ela, qualquer um abriria essa porta. Vamos aqui pra cá. Temos um caminho novo.
The city was burning, and there was no one to put out the fires. If somehow Zenobia survived her father and inherited his crown, what sort of empire would she be heir to? But he couldn't think about that, could he?
Um movimento súbito através de inimigos com escudo. Não preciso da ajuda de ninguém, isso aqui, mas tô muito forte. O matador. Aqui. Acho que a gente tem, né? Nada isso.
Was the Pino urging him to capture Zenobia? Evidently it was a trap. But you never knew how Lapino thought.
Tem vários caminhos de
Sometimes
ser
the
secreto,
plan was so
como já liberei.
convoluted that it did the exact opposite to what Lapino wanted. Perhaps we still need to play, Renata thought.
Baúzinho aqui.
A chest full of old banana cubes. Had to be more. Who was? So, what's this plan of yours? Use me as
Esse é o plano da
bait, said
melancia.
Lapino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lapino dressing as an old blind toad, and Renato hiding inside a monstrous watermelon. What could possibly go wrong? Thought Renato.
Vamos fazer a aliança dos
This is
gansos.
going to be fun, said Lapino, as he ran to go set up his marvelous plan.
Ah, eu tirei o bagulho desse quadro. Muito fácil agora.
Renato felt dubious about the whole plan. With every step, he was horribly wrong.
Agora vai abrir mais dois caminhos pra
This
gente.
idiotic plan worked. Zenobia's ravens ran off after the geese, the net dropped, and Renato jumped out of the watermelon and put his sword to Zenobia's throat. Renato, she said, are those new scars? They look good on you. You never returned my velvet jacket. It was my favorite. You look stupid in velvet. Oh, what does an imperial princess know as style? Oh, get a room, you two, said Lapino. Probably sensing the
Lapino é um
but
safado,
the
me
fleet
mata
was coming on fast. So they took
Me mata,
Zenobia
acho que em todas ele me mata
over the Nexus.
desse
She'd vanished from Swordful School, from his
final.
life, without even saying goodbye. Without ever telling him she was the Emperor's adopted daughter. Renato was aware of her feelings. Maybe this was a bad idea, but was letting his own feelings get the better of him. Lapino was right, Renato thought reluctantly. She knows things. She
Fazer o caminho do
recognized his
sapo.
look. We'll take it.
Vamos pular. Quero ver o próximo final.
Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer. If he ran, he could head her off before she reached her minions at the outpost. Well, he did love a good chase.
Easy.
This was much easier than free climbing.
ter caminho aqui. E agora, a gente tá subindo ou descendo?
He was close enough. He could smell her fear. He tried not to think about the interrogators at the secret base. What did they do to her? Maybe it didn't have to end that way. Maybe he could talk to her. But after all, there were worse things the Imperials had done to friends of his. How could he have let her escape? Why hadn't he shackled her? Bernardo wasn't used to being on this side of the whole prisoner, jailer. Bernardo reached the outpost. The Imperials there were no match for him. Soon after, Zenobia limped up the path. When she realized he was already in front of her, she didn't even try to run. Oh, he left without saying goodbye. Again, he said, "Please, I'm enjoying this a little too much," she said, shaken. "Ah, spare us the chit-chat, would you?" said Lapino as he shackled her hands so she couldn't throw spells. She knows all his plans. All the way back to the far tower, Lapino nagged Bernardo about how the interrogators would pry all the intel on Zenobia. How that would turn the tides of the imminent battle. All they had to do was take her to the rebel secret base. Bernardo didn't like to think about what the interrogators
a gente já fez no último, né? Agora a gente vai fazer o...
talk to her. As they reached the ruins, Bernardo could see ravens everywhere, searching for the rebel base. They'd have to hide the firefarer or go on foot. What if we get separated? Asked Lapino, for once thinking ahead. I'll show you a map to the base. Bernardo told Lapino. Bernardo, don't do this. That's Zenobia. We were friends once. We... Shut it, witch, or I'll shackle your mouth too.
E ele que é um traidor, ele é um safado, velho.
There was no way Lapino was working for the Empire. He really hated Zenobia. And then, a few moments later, he touched down.
Vamos lá. Mais uma verdade.
As Lapino pulled Zenobia off the fire.
Os caminhos que podem nos levar a essa história. Se a vida fosse assim, cara. Nossa, falta muito, velho. Eu preciso desbloquear, tirar esse Reaper. Ele tá roubando meus XP na plataforma.
occupation. Oh, she'd been an amazing rabbit. She could talk to her about comics, talk to her son about history and battles, and talk to scholars about the ancient tomes hidden deep in the vaults of the library of Rhubar. Oh, Renato really missed her. Renato had misgivings. It had been Peppino's idea to capture Zenobia. Peppino who just should run to the outpost.
Vamos fazer um teste antes de a gente falar não e tratar, né? 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 me dá 960.
They caught their breath. It's beautiful, she said, looking at the ruins. This used to be the library of Rhubar, he said. Before your father's ravens smashed it. Do we have to talk politics? She asked. That's not how I want to remember you, she said with an odd, wistful look on her face. She was as beautiful as she'd ever been, and as brave. Peppino huffed. They got back on the trail.
Não quero por lá, não.
Really didn't have much in the way of safety, did it?
O bagulho é um elevador. Lá matei um só.
It was something he'd seen in the play once. Long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. He was on fire. So far, so good. Danced around the room yelling, "Oh yeah, that's how we do it." It was something he liked to do, but only after he killed all the witnesses. As they made their way to the secret rebel base, Renato felt strange. Zenobia was his prisoner, yet somehow she felt more like an old friend. He wanted to tell her all his secrets. Suddenly, the ruins lit up with thousands of fireworks. There was a thunderous roar and dust rose. The caves were collapsing. The caves! You've been playing me? Renato sounded, stared at Zenobia. "I'm sorry," she said. She seemed almost embarrassed. Then everything went dark. When Renato came to, he had a terrible headache. Also, Zenobia's sword was at his throat. And her shackles were gone. So was Peppino. The terrible thing is, he said, I really have missed you. Now that we've destroyed the rebellion,
Como velho?
would you consider becoming an advisor to the Emperor's daughter? I'm no one's servant. Everybody serves. Even if it's only destiny. I'll have to choose my own destinies, he said. The whole point of a destiny is you can't choose. Oh, never mind, she said. Look, if I see you again, I'll have to kill you. He watched her ship soar away. He would see her again, he decided. Even if he had to fight his way across the entire fleet.
Agora pegou outro caminho. Nossa, vai ser complicado, porque eu não lembro os percursos que eu fiz no...
The Imperial fleet was cleaning up a few rebel remnants. Only a moment, he thought about running. But heroes don't run, even when the world is against them. Even when their cause is hopeless and their efforts futile, pointless and useless and death paid for and guaranteed. He's decided to stop thinking for a while. There it was again. The back door to the portal that went to the center of the fleet.
Nossa, o jogo bugou.
Renado's arm was sore, his armor wet with raven blood. He was tired of death. But death was not yet tired of him. The rebel losing badly. In some other universe, Renado thought, he and Zenobia had left sword from school together, taken other names and sailed off into the mists. Not this Zenobia, and not him. For him, there was nothing to do but forge ahead. Kill the Emperor and end. This is quite confusing.
Estilo bom.
Funny that this Cold War had come about because the Emperor feared death. Now it was coming from him.
Agora temos caminho por aqui, para dar aqui na batalha final. Vixe. Tipo easy, né? Esses caras. O combinho. Mata muito fácil, parece.
At last, he reached the Emperor's ship. Zenobia was there. Why'd you have to come back? She said, guess I'm just serving my destiny. He shrugged. You don't even know what that word means, she said. Do you ever wonder if things have been different? All the time, she said, and drew her sword. In the end, Renado lay bleeding out on the deck.
Eu morro em todos esses
Zenobia
filmes.
sat by his side, upset. What are you so upset about? He asked. Understand. Why didn't you tell me you were going to leave school? I was afraid you'd convince me not to. I guess I'll have to buy you a drink in the halls of the Valiant then, he told her. And then he was gone.
Um herói que não corre mesmo quando todo mundo está contra ele. Fez outro caminho aqui, ó. Bom, então tá bom, né? Agora eu não sei se lá tem outro caminho pra fazer ainda. Não lembro.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. And he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
Aqui vai ter uma hora que eu vou ter que escolher ir atrás do Sky Reaper, eu acho, se eu não me engano. Preciso ver se aqui ainda tem aquele caminho do... que eu não pego outra coisa, mas eu quero abrir outro também.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces deep.
Vamos atrás desse bagulho do Sky Reaper, que na verdade eu já fiz, mas... estamos finalizando de outra maneira.
As he set foot in the island, Renato couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens.
Na verdade, agora é a primeira vez que aparece essa escrita aí, porque o Lapino me trai nos finais.
Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Renato never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much, just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
Vamos por aqui mesmo.
This castle. Did they even know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls? The Sky Ripper could destroy anything it touched, or so the legends say. As the transcendent Emperor had fought alongside thousands of times, but Renato had been through war. The only merciful war was a short one. That being his mistake before, trusting his old friend Lapino, who'd been through so many battles and shed so many heartaches, who he'd rescued so many times. He was up with that guy anyway.
Ah, tá, eu achei que uma dessas espadas ia abrir e ia pegar uma outra espada.
There was a sign. Take the goat across first.
Nossa, morri. Caraca, mas que merda. Morri num bagulho tão zoado. Esses bichos são os únicos que me matam, cara. Eu não vou por aqui. Ah, fora aqui, era o portão.
Hey, why don't you guys fight in groups? I know. Because there's no I in team.
Tá dando uns bugs agora, minhas espadas estão soltando.
As for the gate, well, you could take her or leave her. Sorry, best to do.
Eu já tenho Sky Reaper.
Sky Reaper's armature. The stuff that dreams of. Engineers dreamed anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Sky Reaper had a heart. A core that had come to rest in the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him. Asked himself why he changed course to confront Zenobia. He'd no idea. Sometimes he would just do things, and he could never figure out why he'd done them. Usually, they worked out. After all, he was a hero.
Uou! Bom, agora que a gente escolheu mais um caminho, a continuação aí da parte da Zenobia, A gente vai parar nosso vídeo por aqui e continuar em mais um, porque eu não estou acompanhando o tempo e tudo mais. Mas enfim, né? Espero que vocês estejam gostando da história, né? E eu quero platinar essa bagaça. Então vamos continuar neste caminho, tá bom? Galera, curte o canal pra quem não curtiu ainda, se inscreva, porque agora a gente vai fazer mais uma continuação e vamos fechar mais uma vez, tá bom? Valeu, galera, muito obrigado e continua no próximo episódio.